Hello, good evening. This is my second episode in terms of my talks to you about the regional situation. We talked last time on issues like the man made floods and how it has been, and those have been aggravating the situation for the farmers in East and West Punjab, and how Indus Border Treaty, that was a safety valve to avoid such a certain calamities like this and catastrophic and like this, was violated and have been put in abeyance. And because of that, we have an issue. And that issue is that we have uncontrolled water flowing all over the country. Of course, floods are something and they are a menace. And Himalayas, they always produce floods in hot seasons when there's too much of precipitation, too much of clouds. So from Indian Ocean, the clouds, they precipitate, they stand against the Himalayan walls, the Karakoram walls, the Hindu Kush walls, and they create the kind of rain and monsoons. These are not glacial melt floods, these are monsoon floods. And it has created a havoc. And my heart breaks because I've been sharing with you and with my friends a lot of recent videos where people have highlighted how these floods with short warnings have really destroyed their livelihood. Farms have been lost, the whatever they have, wheat cultivations have been lost, and nearly 2 million people have been seriously affected. It will make a difference of 0.2% to the GDP of Pakistan at least. It will also make a difference to the breadbasket along the border, Fazilka border, and of course, Ravi and Satluj salient that is famous and has been famously impacted. It's not easy for the country. But anyway, since that time, things have aggravated rather. It has not done better. If more rains have come, more floods are coming, more water is coming. And what a good thing it would have been if we could have managed to store these waters. We could have managed to release the waters from the storage poundages in Indian side of Kashmir and had a relevant dialogue. And it is sad to see that despite of that, today also, the operational ability and Indus Border Treaty calling upon the two nations to sit and discuss the release of water, that action is still not on. That is still suspended, despite of human calamity. I just don't seem to understand how is it possible for someone to be so insensitive to it. That operational coordination between the two nations will help a lot if we can do that. It is for humanitarian, but that's not happening. And still, the dialogue has not commenced. I thought and I wished that at least forget about not respecting the Indus Treaty that is sacrosanct, but at least we can start talking about the floods on a technical level and managing the water inflows, not on diplomatic level. That is not a job of the embassies. Indus Water Treaty is a lifeline for both India and Pakistan, for East and West Punjab, the Charda Punjab and Landa Punjab, and in Kashmir, as well as same way. So I think it deserves, and East Punjab is the breadbasket of India. It deserves a certain amount of seriousness on the part of the government of India to sit down and at least start talking the technicalities of it, because it has got human consequences, human tragedies, human behaviors are impacted, human lives are being impacted. And I make a strong recommendation to the people of the two nations that they should urge upon their governments that they should start talking on managing the flow of water in Ravi, Satluj, and Beas, as well as Indus and Jhelum and Chenab. It makes an impact. It was to be like that. It has not been that way. And this collective punishment to the poor people is inhuman, insensitive, and not in harmony with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Neither it is in harmony with the Geneva Convention, nor the Vienna Convention, nor the Constitution of the two nations, nor in view of what has been a real issue, that on the altar of human ego, we are sacrificing the peace of this region. Water should be the cause of cultivation, cause of growth, cause of food, cause of immense happiness amongst villages. Instead, water causing destruction. And this, managing excess is a part of the whole problem of engineering and the whole problem of diplomacy. That when you have excess, you should manage it. And when you have depleting resources, you should manage them too. And that is what a balanced relationship is all about. Unfortunately, we are not managing. We are not taking care. When we have an abundance of water, we are being flooded and we are dying. When there is lack of water, we are dying of famine, lack of food. The whole idea of engineering and dams and canals and pounding the waters and stopping the water, Madhapur and all these, Fazilka, all these places where the headworks are there, the whole idea is managing the flow. Can't we just sit down and look what we are conducting ourselves to be, what we are becoming, in just for the sake of vengeance and for the sake of not able to talk? Half of the problems of the world will be over if we start talking. It's very important that we should sit down and discuss the real issues that are causing the damage, still ongoing damage in the region. And rains are still coming. Even yesterday, there was a lot of rains in West Punjab, and there were incessant rain. And the monsoon have definitely shifted more toward Karakoram and Hindu Kush. Before, it used to be more in line with where Ravi, Satluj, and Beas sources are, that is northeast of India. Now it is moved a little bit more towards Afghanistan, Hindu Kush, Karakoram, and Himalayas. This whole monsoon move is substantial. And this new change, if it's happening, it is a good change in one way, that we will have more water, more monsoons. But the other challenge is that this water, somehow or the other, that's the human part of it. And there are technical challenges, there are political challenges. We need to overcome those political and technical challenges to sustain our lives, our livelihood, our existence. And this is an existential threat to the poverty-ridden people in areas where the only help is water. Help, water, and land. That's how they constitute their life. So for me, I would be very concerned about lack of dialogue still, that this human calamity has not resulted into a dialogue. That's what shocks me more than anything else. How is it possible that they are not ready to talk about what is enjoined in the Indus Water Treaty, that despite of this humongous destruction taking place in East Punjab and West Punjab, and both of the people are talking to each other, nearly 30 kilometers of those barbed wires, gulag-like barbed wires, they're inhuman, insensitive, representative of a medieval mindset, that we we imprison ourselves. International boundaries are usually not, honestly, not allowed to have barbed wires. What India has done it 20, nearly 200 meters behind or 100 meters behind the international boundary. They have put all this huge amount of barbed wires from one end of the Arabian Sea to the end of line of control in Kashmir. It's quite a distance they've covered. Even it is covered. It is the only man-made structure after Wall of China, Great Wall of China, that can be seen from Moon, by the way. But the astronauts see it because it's in the darkness of nights, you can see a whole lit wall that divides the two nations. And that money is spent, on huge amount of money spent to keep it lit because of the security concerns India has. But that wall, honestly, for me, reflects that a nation is imprisoning in its old self. A great nation, a big nation, a huge nation is imprisoning it. It reminds me of Wall of Berlin. No one talks about it, but it gives me a sense of strange dismissiveness of purpose. Because what is the purpose of it? Where it is heading? Why do you create walls in this day and age? That's one question I will. That that wall was really 40 to 50 kilometers of that wall has been washed away. That division created has been washed away. It will be rebuilt, of course. But the fact is that it shows that a natural calamity does not see boundaries. When you are bound with a common source of water, and when water can cause so much of destruction, and human destruction and human livelihood, when it is severely injured and is severely hurt, then that's where our test of humanity and politics become. There's no politics if it is not serving the people. Our politics have failed. What is the use of a democracy and a constitution that is not helping people to live properly, people to survive with decent hard work and able to cut their what they have sown? I was just talking to somebody in that area where Kartarpur Sahib is and Nariwal, and his entire wheat for 21 acre has been washed out completely. He was so sad. It was nearly what we get 25 to 40 ton of wheat per acre. So 20 about 400 to 500 ton of wheat. He's not the best of the farmer, but the little man was really had the only thing he had was this 500 ton of wheat that would have helped him to survive. And already wheat prices are going up in Pakistan, and they will go up because so much wheat had been destroyed. So the point, what I'm trying to make is that's a tragedy not bring nations together to talk at least that they may be they may be averted, the pain may be alleviated. Don't we think so? We should do that. I appeal to Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister of India, that forget about underwater treaty putting in abeyance, which has been declared illegal by International Arbitration Commission in Hague and awarded against India. Forget about that. That will set aside. Why not you look purely from human angle for East and West Punjab and address the issue of managing the resources well, at least during excess flood seasons. Why can't we do that? I just want to ask one small question. Why human misery should not impact our heart and break our hearts? Why we should be so insensitive? Imagine if this was happening in Gujarat, in your own province. Imagine if it was happening in Delhi. Imagine it was happening in Maharashtra, in Bombay. Would you be so insensitive? Don't you think that the pleas, cries, and tears and slogans of the East and West Punjab, you go and see it on the social media. Thousands of messages are coming. It's a day of, this is a connected world. People are connected to each other. They're talking about misery. It has really wreaked havoc on them. And they're saying, what for? They're connecting to each other. And a great gesture by the Pakistani Prime Minister, let me be honest about it. And I'm being very neutral. I'm not condemning what is happening. What I'm saying is the insensitivity part, that Kartarpur Sahib was all washed out and cleaned within 48 hours. Nearly 500 people were deputed by the Prime Minister of Pakistan and the Chief Minister, Miss Mariam Bhutto, Mrs. Mariam Nawaz Sharif, that come on, let's clean it up. This is a holy place of Guru Nanak. and it was washed, cleaned. Today, I was listening to somebody who was expressing himself, the committee that runs Gurdaspur Sahib, that by tomorrow, the Kartarpur Sahib will be open and will be clean and will be ready for receiving the worshippers. That's the kind of spirit. We need to talk to each other. We need to see. And that is the kind of thing which these floods, I'm repeating myself, these floods have brought East and West Punjab together. Maybe the purpose was something else, but it has not really hurt us. It has brought peoples together. People have realized now that the wars happening in this region, will only impact the Punjabis. Any impact it will cause the so-called ultimate mutual assured destruction will cause havoc in East and West Punjab. And that is something everybody is noticing. And I pray that we should have reasonable effort made by all of us, people of the country, people of two countries, to sit and talk and shout across the message of love. Social media is bringing down all that created hate and wrongly publicized propaganda that people are against each other. People to people contact are great. People suffer similarly, a similar fate when a natural catastrophe strikes them. And this calamity that has struck them has been due to the reason that it was not managed well. I'm not saying that it would not be as detrimental as it had been. It could have been mitigated to a much lower level. We could have managed it better if there was the protocol that was established in 1960 Indus Water Treaty was respected. A constant dialogue. The commission would be meeting. The water levels would have been discussed. The weather patterns would have been predicted and could have been acted upon. Yes, could have been, would have been, should be, are parameters that some people hate it. But the fact is, that's what reason and rationality is all about. Humanity progresses where politics is subservient to rational actions, where politics is subservient to treaties which are signed between two sovereign nations. When you violate a treaty, this is a direct result of, and this destruction is a direct result of the violation of Indus Water Treaty 1960. Lack of dialogue. And that is under any account, you cannot sit down and just say, oh, we want to punish. This is how we will do it. No, you will not do it. Nobody will accept it. People like us will keep talking about it. People will remind you. People across the border today, at least I've seen one small skit of 32 seconds where a Sardarji is telling everybody that the way Nasir Dolon on the other side is working hard to reduce the impact of the flood, and the way Lieutenant General Singh is talking about punishing Pakistan, are two opposite sides of a coin. One is hope, other is delude and destruction and depression. We should love each other. There's no reason for terrorist actions to dictate our daily life. If terrorists will get hold of our strategy, this whole idea that to punish the terrorist acts of Palagam, we will punish the entire nation, you end up punishing your own self also. Look at East Punjab is equally punished. Is it not a karma? Is it fair? That is what I'm asking. The question is that reason what we are suffering today in East and West Punjab and will suffer soon in Sindh as this flood water will reach, and it will pass through Sindh because the river there is quite big, but Indus can hold up all this water. Lloyd Barrage can hold this water, and easily pass Ghulam Muhammad, Ghulam Lloyds, and Guddu Barrage, the first one before in Guddu, before Lloyds, can handle all this in Kotri one. The problem is that why can't these tragedies averted? Today, these 20 minutes, first 20 minutes of my talk, I thought I would talk about human pain, human misery, human disgust, and how this pain causes the ultimate destruction, that is, the destruction of the systems that are tyrannical, that are not constitutional, that are addressing not the issues which are impacting the people. Their systems are really aggravating the causes. We should remove those causes. And that's the purpose of constitution of any governance. That's the purpose of a treaty. That's the purpose of coexistence. There's a time now, I call upon Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, that they should sit down and think about it, that a common dialogue, at least to avoid this calamity. I call upon the Chief Minister of Punjab, to call upon his Prime Minister and his Interior Minister to sit and talk and manage these flows. Don't get carried away by this whole slogan that we have a short-term, medium-term, long-term agreement that not a single drop of water will pass through. No one in the world can fight the water. No one in the world can fight nature. No politician, no ordinary man, no big man has ever fought the nature. Nature has its own dictation. You saw today what happened in Nepal. You saw what has happened in Bangladesh. All these actions have backfired. The only way is sit down, talk to each other, maintain dignity, respect human life, respect water, respect the wheat that we grow, respect the food we grow, and help our poor people to at least have a decent life with gratitude. This is our duty. This is our constitutional duty, not to exact collective punishment, not to apply a sword on their neck. This water, releasing of water, 10 million cubic of water, is absolutely callous. It was unfair. It was disgusting. It could have been managed and managed much better. Releasing 1 million acre feet of water in one day is much more disastrous than releasing 1 million acre feet of water over 10 days. If there was flood cushions, we could have avoided a lot of this tragedy. Sad to say that. I say goodbye on this issue, and next session, I will do it on political developments that are taking place in our region. Thank you very much. Welcome back from London, and I'm here, Iqbal Latif, in London, to discuss a new subject. I've been telling you about questions that I received from my viewers, and they wanted to see that what happened in SCO, but there was a lot of propaganda and a lot of information, misinformation, disinformation, good information, that what did Pakistan got in SCO, and was Pakistan an uninvited guest, or what Pakistan Bigani Shadi mein Abdullah Diwana kind of things. Even many of the people were talking like this within our own nation, by the way, not outside the nation. And of course, there's a vested interest in some of our political elite and political groups that they like to denounce our own actions. They want to see Pakistan becoming weak, so that they think that's the only way that regime change can take place. Economic collapse of Pakistan, diplomatic collapse of Pakistan, and political collapse of Pakistan will be the result of these two. So they leave no efforts, and they leave nothing unturned to make sure that that materializes. That is it possible or not? I don't know, but that is the purpose. there is always in politics one thing that, yeah, you disagree on the mandates and your manifestos, and then you have your own way of handling things. You have your way of development, and the other party has their own way of development. But rarely we see a party going so mad that they're ready to even see Pakistan getting on its knees economically and on its back strategically, so that it may become so weak that the political system may collapse, the institutions may collapse, and then they can come out and rule the country that they want to. And that is something very strange I've seen. I've seen a lot of politicians in the world, but this phenomena is very strange since last 2 to 3 years that is going on, that we are the Messiah. We are the ones that with the messianic message. We are the ones who will lead Pakistan out of troubles. Notwithstanding the fact that Pakistan got into this trouble from 2018 to now because of them, because of this hybrid system that is continuing. Of course, it is continuing. What was sown in 2018, it has become a strong tree now. So they want to start and rewrite something new. No, that they want their kind of hybrid system. They want their kind of people to run the country. That does not happen. People change when they had their kind of chief justices like Saqib Nisar and Mr. Bajwa and Faiz Hamid and others, and starting from going back to Mr. Shuja, going back to the 2002 referendum, which they supported, of Mr. Musharraf very gallantly. Even one of the Supreme Court Justice, Athar Minullah, he was on the, I remember, 2002 referendum evening. He was the man who was giving the great news about, what a great news that President Musharraf has been elected by the people of Pakistan in a fair referendum. This Athar Minullah, who is talking about conscience of the nation, I don't know what concept conscience he had done. He was the advisor, law advisor to the governor of a dictator. So their hybrid system is their kind of general. Then even Mushahid Hussain, I remember very nicely. Well, in 2005 and six or seven, when he was promoting General Musharraf in address as the president of Pakistan, he was the strongest proponent of that. So when he was elected in uniform as president of Pakistan, then he resigned. Mushahid Hussain was always there. So now they feel that democracy is being compromised. You know, what they don't seem to realize that what you have sown is what you are going to get. And then in Shuja, and then Zahidul Islam, and then Wafoor, and then Faiz Hamid, and then Mr. Bajwa, they, they, they all connected, well-connected team. They got it into a situation where we see the RTS going down and a hybrid system becoming a full-fledged analogy that is a strategy how establishment works to implement their political system. And Mr. Imran Khan was a result of that in 2018 and 19. And Saqib Nisar and Ijazul Hassan and Mr. Rizvi and Mr. Munib Akhtar and the people who are writing letters today as being people of conscionable judiciary were the ones who created the paper, the Panama paper, into a kind of a charge which led to dismissal of Prime Minister on a fake charge of not having declared monies that he received from his son. So that is a kind of background that hybrid system creates. And one thing is very clear. Hybrid system is all about we want our kind of general. So for hybrid system, for Mr. Imran Khan, it's very okay that, it's okay to have Bajwa and Faiz Hamid and Saqib Nisar and Kosa or Mr. Bandial. And the whole system that they had created, Aisha Malik was promoted, Munib Akhtar was brought in over Yahya Afridi. Yahya Afridi was a senior judge in KPK. but he was, leapfrogged. And who was brought in? Munib Akhtar, so that he is in line with 2035 judiciary project that Justices of Pakistan would have been continually from the same chamber, from the same group, which had a judicial activism at its core. That's one thing I would like to highlight, that it's not easy when we think of now what Pakistan did, what happened with Pakistan post Sindhu, what happened when Pakistan went to SCO, were they uninvited guests or invited guests? That is the prelogue of this discussion, was that our political party and our people tend to create an environment whereby they think that when their kind of journal is on top, they're happy with it. When naturally, when Asim Munir is on top with Shahbaz Sharif, absolutely there's a hybrid system. There's no doubt about it. Let's not let's not have any qualms about it. So when they are on top, naturally they are not happy. They think they want their kind of Chief Justice, they want their kind of journal. So now Yahya Afridi is on top. Mansoor Ali Shah and others do not want him to be on the top. They want the activism, judicial activism, that they can send the musical chairs of the constitution of the parliament again, send prime ministers back home. That door has been stopped because of 26th Amendment. So now we have a new dynamic relationship. I will not say, and I'll not curse it, and I'll not kind of say that, oh, this is on one page much better than Imran Khan and Bajwa was on one page. But it seems so that the relationship between Mr. General Field Marshal Asim and the political government and the establishment and the political government and the hybrid system they have created, it's functioning quite well. They don't have much of a difference because on the economic front, which is the preeminent feature of any establishment's goal, they are doing well. They saved Pakistan from any kind of liquidity crisis. Pakistan reserves were down to $7 billion. They are now 21, 22 billion. Pakistan economy has moved up. Pakistan stock market, the barometer, has moved up. So they have done well in basically. And there is a good coordination between. Now, I look at it purely from a rational angle. I'm not looking, I'm pro Nawaz Sharif or pro Shahbaz Sharif. No, I'm not. I'm looking at how Imran Khan looks at it and how PTI looks at it and how the government looks at it. At the moment, in SCO, that is an equation that we have to look at. Are they working fine? If Pakistan benefited? Yes. Number one point, Sindoor, post-Sindoor, pre-Sindoor, Pakistan was attacked on 6th or 7th night. And before that, the theme was established that we will take a revenge and we will andar ghuske marenge. What did Field Marshal Asim Munir did? He said, okay, we will not allow that to happen. Unlike in case of in 2019, Balakot, oh, we don't have the capacity, we don't have money for the petrol. Here, a courage was shown, a certain amount of courage, and rightly placed in the sense they came out well. Pakistan came out well. Diplomatically, our friends in GCC and everyone, and even China, were little apprehensive that Pakistan should compromise and let them hit few places and let the ball rolling and keep quiet about it. No, Pakistan said no. If they're going to hit us, we're going to retaliate. That happens, and luckily, it did result into a ceasefire. Number one. Post ceasefire, Pakistan diplomatically, its assessment by the GCC countries, by the friends of Pakistan, by Turkey, Turkmenistan, China, it rose dramatically. The skill and the ability to defend itself became a talking point internationally. And this is the reason 42 times Trump is talking about 6, 7, 5 planes that were downed. Of course, $150 million plane is not JF-17 Thunder, with all due respect. It is Rafale. But let's set it aside. Pakistan stock rose. What happens when a nation stock rises. It rises when you are respected by other people as a nation who can defend its ground. So, irrespective of Pakistan stood its ground well and her ground well and stood her ground well against a nation which was 10 times bigger in terms of defense spending. Pakistan defense spending was $8 billion in 2024-25. Indians were $80 billion, 10 times more. They stood well. And as a result, Pakistan posture in the world became better. Those friends who were asking to show restraint and we will not be able to help you if India punishes you very badly, because the idea of Modi was that I will make Pakistan listen to me and become an inferior power like Nepal and Bhutan and obliterate it and fragment it and whatever they had, their plans. They failed. That directly resulted into an image which is now much better in the world. Yes, Pakistan is respected. Economically, it has done well. Stock market has gone up. And hence, SCO was resisted. Pakistan membership in SCO was resisted by India. China overruled it. And this was the first meeting, I think, in SCO after the foreign ministers had gone, after the chief of the army staffs have gone, and the prime ministerial meeting where all these head of states from all over the world came, 40 or 50 nations. This was the first meeting. As prime minister, I think Shahbaz Sharif was the first Pakistani, I think, if I'm right. And this SCO meeting is very important. Even Mr. Modi changed his tone. He was a member of Quad, which was a union created by Australia, Japan, and United States to make India as a bulwark against China. Now, post-Indore, all of a sudden, the equation changed. And people realized that India is not that big a power the way it was. It was not able to crush Pakistan. So is it really a bulwark against China? And hence, Indian stock went down diplomatically, internationally, and the stature of Mr. Modi, even in Gulf, even everywhere else, has been compromised. I tell you honestly, that's a fair assessment. And it's only because of the fact that stature has been compromised due to the inability of India to exact the kind of results they wanted from their strategic inclusion in Pakistan on 6th or 7th night. The broad-based strategy of Pakistan Air Force, the multifaceted, multi-domain, satellite-assisted ability to hit incoming planes within the Indian border with missiles that PL-15, the version they had, Indians had no idea that this is the version they had. And they hit, and they were hit, and planes were lost. And the whole, basically, what are nations known? How are nations defined? Nations are defined by only one thing. Are you able to withstand the onslaught of an opponent who is 10 times larger, or are you not? Pakistan did. Pakistan did not win. I tell you honestly that we won a war, but Pakistan, its only biggest battle is survival. If Pakistan is able to survive, that's good enough. That's victory. For a nation 10 times bigger, and he thought that he can do what he wants. The idea, look at the social media between 30. The reason I'm putting you a background of what SCO was all about was that China then had a different view about Pakistan. All of a sudden, the GCC countries have a different view. Turkish have a different view. Pakistani Air Force Chief has been invited to America, has been invited. Thailand is running a course on 6th, 7th night, multifaceted, multi-joint, multi-domain, satellite-assisted operations. It has become a talk of the town. That how GF Thunders, who are 4th generation, not 4.5 generation, were able to beat a coordinated attack of India. That resulted into a diplomatic appreciation of Pakistan. That became what is known as a recognition of a Pakistan not as a weak, broken, beggar Pakistan that was being portrayed by Indian strategists. That is a very big victory. Now, you don't even seem to realize that that's something that our politicians who are on the opposition, they don't want to accept it, because they always saying that okay, Pakistan will just give up to Modi and they will say goodbye, do what you want, and they will just meekly accept. But this time, their plan was that Pakistan will be made to kneel down and they will spank us. That did not happen. It has really resulted in high respect for Pakistan. Diplomatically, now Pakistan is everywhere to be seen. I'm being invited for a lunch by President Trump, the only leader. Pakistan was the only country that was mentioned in the State of Union, equivalent to State of Union address, where Trump declared Pakistan as a frontline state of helping them eradicate extreme radicalization and extreme terror. So instead of Indian propaganda that Pakistan is the no, cradle of entire terrorist networks, there was another point made by President Trump in State of Union, and that Pakistan is their closest ally. The Central Command commander then testified in the Senate. That has resulted into a new kind of calibration. On one hand, is the United States, which is praising Pakistan, inviting Chief of the Army Staff, coming having a 2 hours discussions pre-Tehran attack. A lot happened for that. And on the other hand, Chinese respecting Pakistan for using their GF-17s with best of their ability, adding on. They've added on. Pakistanis in last 20 years have added on the capability. The ability to stop the entire attack, one of the largest ever fifth generation, 4.5 generation aerial war that has ever happened post Second World War. They stopped it. Yes. And that has given a new momentum to SCO and positioning of why is Mr. Asim Munir being invited everywhere? What is the reason? The very reason is that Chinese are now ready to extend their protection of Pakistan even on a larger scale. Because why should they not help Pakistan? SCO has made a very, very good, warm relationship. When, if you see the military played the way it was played out, Mr. Shahbaz Sharif was in the front line. Yes, he was a step back. He was not with Putin and North Korean and the president himself. He was a step, maybe 5 centimeters back, but they all came together up. That is a very big recognition. In the sense, in the military parade, he was given, and Mr. Asim Munir was, Mill Marshal, was asked to meet the president, Chinese president. He met him. He met President Trump. He met Chinese president. Chinese are ready to release new kind of equipment to Pakistan to discuss and make arrangements that Pakistan defensive posture becomes better. Now the J-35s, the stealth aircraft, that alone, and then the CPEC-2 is coming back online. What has been damaged, the relationship, the way it has been damaged, is being repaired. Pakistan is coming on the map as a nation which is not broke, which has got a credible defense. It's not a country of war. Pakistan have a Department of Defense, not Department of War, because Mr. Trump changed the Department of Defense to Department of War. Pakistan is Department of Defense because we are only taking care of our, we have no aggressive designs on any other land. Pakistan is fighting a war on 3 fronts with the TTP, Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, with the Balochistan Liberation Army, with others internal security measures, with radicals within Pakistan, and with on the line of control with Indians. That is a hot war. Pakistan Army is one of the only armies where, and Air Force, which has seen action since 1979. After Pakistan was not neutral like India was. When Soviets invaded Afghanistan, India was neutral. Pakistan was not. And one of the vice presidents of Russia later on was actually, his plane was hit. 20, they say 26 MiGs were dropped down by Pakistan, was hit by Pakistan. Pakistan Air Force has been in combat for nearly since 1979. And also Pakistan has been in combat in Afghanistan on the northern borders since 1979 to 2025 because of Soviet invasion and then because of 9/11. So it's a hardened army. You like it or not, every soldier and every officer in Pakistan sees 3 or 4 combat zone rounds, unlike many other armies who just are armies of peace because don't see. Pakistan, because of its confluence in Khyber Pass and Bolan Pass, and historically, it's not Nepal, it's not Sikkim, it's not Bangladesh, it was a gateway to India. So Pakistan is a buffer. Pakistan is a buffer. Stops invasions to India since what has been stopped by Maharaja Ranjit Singh and since Durand Line controlled the Durand Line. That is a beautiful thing what has happened in SCO. SCO has made Pakistan as a state where it was the whole impression of Pakistan that was given that it will go to with a dole out from IMFA, it will go with a request to get some more aid. Pakistan has shown some kind of dignity, some kind of self-respect, some kind of valor, some kind of courage to stand up and then restraint and to listen and give announce. By the way, that was my first Twitter account that said that we should give a Nobel Prize to President Trump. That was my first Twitter account that I said that. Because in my opinion, if that day President Trump would have not done that, it would have graduated to a different level. The war, now they know it, the war is a distant possibility in my personal opinion, because the graduation ladder at which this war can take place soon after the first skirmishes are fought, then it's a real problem because it can graduate to a very high level very quick. And that India doesn't want it. India has a $4 trillion economy. They have to protect their assets. India cannot afford a war. So is Pakistan cannot afford a war too. But the instruments that both have are not within 2 nuclear-tipped states. The only way is peace. The only way is negotiation. The only way for future for India and Pakistan is peace between each other. The deterrence that has been caused, but been maintained, is for peace. The deterrence is not for making more wars. The result of this is that SCO meetings, that much as people say that, oh, there was no respect for Pakistan. No, I think in my opinion, there was a lot of respect for Pakistan. The meetings post SCO, the meetings with the Field Marshal. Field Marshal is coming on 21st to London. He's addressing 1,000 Pakistanis. Then on 23rd, he's going for the General Assembly meeting. And then he's meeting Trump again with Prime Minister, 23rd of September. You'll see that. Trump has invited them. Why? What for? Because Pakistan, as a strategic region, geographical, historically strategic region, much as we discount ourselves, I know that. I'm not provoking you to think that we are one of the greatest. Our survival is our victory. I'm saying we are weak, that's acceptable. But our ability to put our house in order, to have a functioning establishment and functioning institution that is able to withstand 8, 10 times a bigger enemy who wanted to root us out. Why Iran could not do it, with all due respect? We were able to defend ourselves. That is a very big plus. And therefore, if you see post-SCO, the GCC countries are, today you just now see, Qatar has been impacted. The entire leadership of Hamas has been taken out. That is not the case. That is what happens. A good nation, a strong nation, a respectful nation is able to withstand the pressures. And we're no lost. No, we have a lot of friends around. Afghanistan is a great friend. Iran is a great friend. India is a great friend on our borders. We are a very volatile geographical region for 5,000 years. No, so many wars that have happened in this region that you can't even believe. This is one of the hottest plate. GD Road, Silk Road, Marco Polo Road, everything. The gateway to China, the gateway to India. That is the beauty of Pakistan. So to say that, oh, Pakistan is just an ordinary nation. No, it lies on the fault lines, political fault lines of the world. 2.6 billion people live within 2,500 miles of that distance from Islamabad. That's what it is. 2,500 miles from Islamabad is 2.6 billion people. Pakistan is a very important nation. Its stability is very much a big concern of America as well as China. China considers Pakistan as its extensions of its Western theater. The region between Telakalam Desert, which is K2 to Giovanni, is considered to be a sacrosanct space for Chinese strategy. China believes in two ocean theory, and one ocean is the South China Sea that they have, and the other one is Arabian Sea they have. Gwadar is not just for the Troy play, for the coal play. It is there for a purpose. And that is the reason belt strategy, the road and belt strategy, belt and road strategy, and all this, what you see, is a part of a greater design. And Pakistan, luckily, happens to be in a place that we have good enough establishment, good enough a political system, good enough a hybrid system that is working so far. So don't worry about it. I think Pakistan played its innings very well and should maintain its peaceful postures, should maintain its economic development, should maintain this close coordination between the establishment and the political operations and the hybrid system, and the hybrid system that has been created and the binary operations as a result of that. That's the way it is. It's a hard fact. And judiciary is also part of that since 1952-53, since Maulvi Tamizuddin Khan case, with Dosa case, when every time the judiciary has been a compliant member of this whole trioca. Let's get the facts right. And I'm very happy what is happening is, in my personal opinion, a complete good end to what could have been a disaster. We are clear on our economic front. Our stock market is doing well. We are respected by Turkish. We are respected by GCC. We are respected by America. We are not in bad books of that. They were telling us that Trump is going to come and just destroy us. That's not the case. They are inviting 23rd. Then we are good with China. What else one can think of? What else one can think of? We are good with Iran now. So all our hot borders are now cold borders. Even Taliban have been told by Chinese that let's get down to each other and have peace. So I think that's very good. I feel very positive. Net result of all this will be SCO will lead to a stable, peaceful coexistence with India, in my opinion. We'll be on a table with India very soon in 6 months' time. Read my lips and I rest assured you, Mr. Modi will open negotiations with Pakistan very soon. There's no other way out for them. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the result of SCO. There will be no war, in my personal opinion. That's the upside. I don't see a war. I see peace. I feel coexistence. I feel that there will be, in this kind of situation, things will go better. I'm very positive about future. I hope we'll have a good, peaceful coexistence in this region. I hope we'll avoid war. I hope the people of this region, 1.68 billion of us, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, together can form a kind of union that may be everlasting and have a good feeling for all of us and a good reason to enjoy the coexistence we have for thousands of years together. But let's be brotherly nations, not hegemonist. Goodbye for now, and I hope to see you next week.